Hello and welcome back to LifeGen. My name is Frosty and today we are actually picking up with an update because yes, I did manage to find it. So what's new with this latest version? So there's a new murder screen, murder mechanic and events, a new activity button layout, new gift accessory feature so you can gift accessories we're not using to other cats, pronouns, not really sure what that means. More differences between old and new clan ages. Sadly, that's not really gonna affect us here since we've already made our clan. It fixed an error, updated queen activity chances, deaf dialogue additions. Alright, that sounds cool. Revamped warrior app patrols. Maybe there's new apprentice patrols then. New events and thoughts, new talk focuses, much more dialogue, more accessories, rain accessories, patrol art. River does not like the new patrol art. Why not? Okay. Fixed inconsistent buttons and added new menu art. So a lot of art, a lot of dialogue. I don't think there's too much else that's going to affect us. So we'll go ahead and exit out of there. And then we'll just dive into the clan. Alright, so here we are with MoonClan, as per usual here. Unfortunately, last time, half of the clan did fall sick to white cough. There is just an absolute plague going through. It looks like some accessories were automatically enabled for certain cats, which we don't want, so I'll disable those in a bit. But we're going to be diving in this episode to Leaf Bear, starting off with 93 moons for the clan and 92 moons for Frostlisper. He's actually getting kind of close to elderhood. He's probably considered a senior adult now. No, just adult for now. But yeah, let's go ahead and disable this accessory. I'm not even sure where the peach harness came from, but Twig Roach is one of the cats that just came from Kitty Pet Hood, so it's not like wrong that they have that or anything. Same with Amber Stripe. We're gonna pretend like all of the kitty pets have their collars removed upon entrance to the clan. Now, if they get it later, that's gonna be its own can of worms. Another thing that's new is this faith bar here. So this is like our, I guess, support of Star Clan. This is our belief in the Dark Forest. So for Frostlisper, we're wondering if Dark Forest really makes cats stronger or if it's just a kit's tale. A little nerving with the current trait for that moon. Weaselry looks like they are completely neutral. Ravensong believes in StarClan when it suits their image, and so on and so forth. So all cats will have their own faith in one or the other there. We can also gift certain accessories to other cats. Here. I know there's some way to do it, but I'm not really sure how. So we can maybe mess around with that a little bit later. But as I go through cats, I'll probably keep the faith up for a little bit here, at least at first. I am curious where our medicine cats fall. Little, concerning. Storm Sky is intrigued by the Dark Forest. Hill Petal is respectful of Star Clan. And Blue Shade is completely neutral. So we don't have the most faithful medicine cats either. But I think that's about all that's new that we can like easily observe for this update. So the rest is going to come with the time skip events, patrols, and just dialogue options over time. So without any further ado, let's dive into Moon 93 and see if we can find any new options. Oh? What is this? Alright, I guess this is something else that's new. It's a clan icon. So I don't really know what ours is meant to be showcasing. Kind of looks like a clan split by a cat, but maybe falling? Trying to think of all the prefixes and suffixes that might make sense. Or just something general like Shadow Clan. Oh, we can also see dens over here. Oh, what is this? Oh, this is cool. Okay, hang on a second. I guess we're not done with the update stuff yet. So, here we can go to different dens. So, in the leader's den, Yarosar and Blue Shade are discussing how to handle the next gathering. The other clans think MoonClan is proud. I think that's a pretty good description of us there. So we have Bliss Clan, who's bloodthirsty but an ally. River Clan, proud neutral. Goose Clan, proud neutral. Crooked Clan, amiable neutral. And Clay Clan, a logical ally. Oh my gosh, this is actually really cool. Hang on a second. So we also have an option for outsiders. So we have the option to hunt down cats. The cat will be killed if found. Drive off. The cat will be driven off if the area is found, and they will no longer be accessible in game. Or invite in. If the cat is found, they will be invited to join the clan. Alright, so for our narrative purposes here, Palefur was exiled for being a murderer. So we'll select him to hunt down. Oh, and that affected our views of outsiders. So outsiders view our clan as hostile. Sadly, it's going to be the same for Cold Shriek. Flood Mask, he was just exiled, so he'll be driven off. And Whisker Streak is a murderer, but I don't know that she was brought to justice. So we'll keep it neutral as drive off. I don't think she's going to find her way back anyway. So we can also offend or praise our allies or provoke or befriend other cats. Alright, so we can only choose one interaction each moon. Now, I need to go back and double check here. Yarostar has traits that he is least likely to accept outsiders and least likely to antagonize. So he's only going to have praising or befriending traits with other clans, which is good for us. So for Goose Clan, let's try and befriend them. Yarosar has decided to befriend Goose Clan. We might see some outcomes of that next go. I'm not sure. Are all of the other dens the same? Alright, looks like the Medicine Cat den is still the same. Our herb stores are doing okay. We're just stuck with the plague. Okay, so warriors then. We are currently focusing on business as usual. The clan has no specific focus and won't get any bonuses. We can also focus on feeding the clan. So the clan will focus on hunting each working warrior, and each working apprentice will gather additional prey on each moon skip. Assisting with herb gathering, the clan will focus on herb gathering. Each medicine cat apprentice will gather additional herbs on each moon skip, due to extra help from warriors. Threatening outsiders, the relationship with cats outside the clan decreases due to intentionally threatening behavior from our warriors. In trading with outsiders, relationship with cats outside the clan increases as our warriors make efforts to sow seeds of friendship. Resting and recovering. The clan will take more care and time in their tasks, and therefore the rate of injuries, illnesses, and outbreaks will be reduced. That would have been nice before this outbreak happened. Sabotaging other clans. Our mediator and warriors work together to undermine the other clans. Only available if we have a working mediator, which we don't. Selecting this will allow us to choose which clans we target. I really like this. Helping other clans. Our mediator and warriors work together to help the other clans with whatever they need. Only works with a mediator. Selecting this will also allow you to choose which clans you target. Raiding other clans. Our warriors begin crossing borders for resources. Prey and herbs will greatly increase each moonskip, but injuries and illness will also increase and the relationship with other clans decrease. You'll be able to choose which clans you target. Hoarding resources. Our warriors begin stockpiling as many resources as they can get their paws on, regardless of their own safety. Prey and herbs will increase each moon skip, but injuries and illness also increase. Oh, this is actually really cool. There's a lot of different interactions you can actually put on the board with this. But for now, I think we're gonna focus on herb gathering because I don't want to risk damage to the few warriors we do have that are able-bodied. And in general, we're not very antagonistic at this time. Now, if the clan were to become aligned with the Dark Forest or take a, darker path with a different leader, then I could see us maybe raiding other clans or threatening outsiders. But for now, I think we're going to be focusing mostly on some kind of like feeding the clan, getting herbs, maybe even hoarding resources, resting, recovering, and entreating. Most other things I don't really foresee us doing, but for now we definitely need to focus on getting herbs. It looks like we can change our focus once every 3 moons, so I guess for us once an episode. And conveniently, this next 3 moons is just going to be for winter time, which is when we're gonna really need to focus on this anyway. Okay, and now with all that being said, let's go ahead and time skip to moon 93 for the clan and hopefully end the plague. Okay, there's a lot of tabs lit up and I'm very scared. I think another update here is that all of the events are now truly on this page. So I think I'm going to go through all the other tabs and then see what we missed in all events. For now, I think this is probably our only 2 traits that are actually like unique for this time skip. So take a moment to stretch out in the warm patch of sunlight, enjoying a brief respite from our warrior duties. Some time today was well spent lost in our own thoughts. Reflection is always a useful tool. Coalpaw has excelled at every task placed before them. Despite their young age, they are more than ready to be a warrior. They are given the name Coal Slash, honoring their intelligence. Alright, that's a pretty good name. And right now, we definitely need the hands on deck. Aw, okay. Mosscone passes from a mangled tail. We fussed gently with Mosscone's fur, hiding the evidence of what killed them. We want to remember them as they were in life, not like this. In the dead of night, we wail into the vast sky, unable to fathom StarClan's cruelty. We glare at Silverpelt gouging the earth with shaky claws. Mosscone had a bright future ahead of them. Moonfern can still hear them talking about their dreams, can still picture them running through MoonClan's territory, and to know that Mosscone will never get the chance to fulfill that. Cats come to Moonfern afterwards, offering them the biggest, juiciest pieces of fresh kill, but they refuse it all, staring at the walls of their den in silence. As the clan sits vigil, Ravensong's voice cracks with grief, talking about the time they had with Mosscone. Ravensong only retires to their nest when concerned clanmates usher them there. Tremors rack through their body as they dwell on how Mosscone won't see another morning. Yarosar wails when they see the body of Mosscone still and cold in the clearing. They sit vigil that night as grief fills their heart. Nobody can comfort Yarosar during the vigil. They're absolutely inconsolable, convinced that they'll never feel normal again without Mosscone beside them. The past moon, Mosscone has taken their place in StarClan. I feel really bad. I never realized how beloved Mosscone was to the clan until they were gone. But they will certainly be missed, and unless we had a bunch of cats recover, that's probably half of our able-bodied population now grieving too. Oh, what's this? So we've got a couple different options here now. I think this is for our specific cat. And there must be other kinds of like favorite mechanics so we can check in on other cats. Frostwhisper bristles after being scolded by Pigeon Flick. Frostwhisper thinks Icyfin is very helpful. Yarosar had a difficult conversation with us, and we both ended up resentful of one another. I wonder if that had anything to do with Snowleaf. And we gently fuss with Mosscone's fur, hiding evidence of what killed them. Moonfern was taking some prey from the fresh kill pile only to find a horde of rats. While Moonfern managed to fight off every last one, they got injured in the process. Hillpetal is relieved to find their phantom pain gone. Poppy Eye's frostbite is gone. Blue Shade no longer has a stomach ache. Shaded Antler saved Primshade from a dog and was barely even hurt. They're bruised, but that's better than claw marks. Burrow Kit's running nose is gone, and Amber Stripe has recovered from white cough. If that's any sign, most other cats should be recovered in a month or two. Fingers crossed. During the gathering, Blue Shade does their best to get on Goose Clan's good side. Goose Clan relations improved. With the additional focus of the clan, 9 herbs were gathered. Despite a long search, Whisker Shriek could not be found by the clan. Okay, so either they came onto our territory and we tried to drive them off but missed them, or we were going out of our way for one reason or another. Moonfern was taking some prey from the fresh kill pile only to find a horde of rats. While Moonfern managed to fight off all of them, they did get injured. Alright, so that's the same as before. I guess while I'm on this screen, I'm going to focus on touching this up a bit. I don't know if we can have multiple allies, but I'm gonna try and have more than 3 at a time. I think just by having more friends than not, that's going to innately cause some disturbance amongst the other clans. Like, you can't please everybody, sort of a thing. But let's go back up here too. Alright, so it looks like these other 2 were also unique traits for the moon. So we spent some time with Sky Scratch, the 2 of us enjoying time away from camp. We helped Storm Sky since they need extra paws. They're grateful to us for the assistance, and it turns out to be a great opportunity to connect with them more. Very nice. Alright, let's see how we're doing with the camp. Actually, oh, the clearing is where we see how much prey we have. Okay, so we're at 288 out of 76, which is fine, because that's still plenty of time to get our prey back up, even if we caught nothing. Alright, despite everything, I do genuinely think the clan looks a little bit better overall. I don't know if that assessment holds, seeing them on this screen, but we'll keep our fingers crossed that we continue to recover at a good rate. Starting off with Yarosar, he's currently feeling blessed by StarClan this moon, and we are actually insulting him because we got into a major fight. We feel too guilty to insult the cat. Alright, it's probably because everybody is grieving, but I think that could also have been the root of the argument too, in hindsight, because A, like, there's some tensions probably with the whole Snowleaf thing, and B, grief just sometimes comes out in inappropriate ways, like lashing out, so I can see that just being how that conversation ended up going, for better and worse there. Needledew is assigning cats to patrol the borders. She's still sick though. Blue Shade is wondering how Colepaw, now Cole Slash, is doing. Hillpetal is checking up on the warriors. Oh? I don't really know why some of these are like okay and some of them are not. I'm assuming it's just because we are related to Hillpetal, so we are ineligible from flirting with them. But if it's something else, let me know. Also, just double checking our Erdsock here. I'm glad we're focusing on it because all of our Mulane is gone, basically. Looks like cats were being given Tansy, Plantain. So Plantain and Tansy seems to be the 2 popular ones. I see we have 1 Tansy. Not seeing much else. So yeah, we are definitely gonna need some more herbs here. We're getting like a lot of miscellaneous things. I just wish it was more of the herbs we actually needed. Storm Sky is finding a new approach to battle move that they've been struggling with. Messing cats do still need to practice. we are going to talk to him. Sigh, can't you see I have important things to do, Frost Whisper? Go back to catching mice or whatever it is you warriors do. That's a little mean for somebody who's grieving. Then again, he's young and obviously the clan is very sick, so he's under a lot of stress right now. So I won't hold it against him or anything. Here's Amber Stripe, now feeling better, at the cost of the clan. But I'm glad that she is at least doing better. We're wanting to compliment Icy Finn's fighting techniques. Lyre Rush is reevaluating their morals. We never did get like a greater clan announcement, but that's fine. I don't really see Lyre Rush or Frost Whisper as the kind of cat to make a big show of anything. So that checks out for me. This cat has a reserved belief in StarClan, taking comfort in the idea of an afterlife for valiant warriors. That lines up pretty much perfectly with how I see Lyre Rush. And we can try flirting with her some more. Oh, that one took me back to our courtship days. Like 2 days ago. And just talking with her, she asks if we want to share tongues. So we sit and cuddle up together, pelts brushing, soaking up the bright sunlight coming into camp. Their fur is soft and smells wonderful. We bury our face into it. Suddenly they stop grooming you like their attention was stolen by something. Huh? Oh, you want to know something's wrong? Oh no, nothing's wrong. I was just thinking. I never thought this would happen to me. I'm really glad you're here, Frost Whisper. Thank you for being with me. I love you. Oh. Okay, I definitely think they're over the awkwardness now. Chirpback is slipping out of camp to visit Mosscone's grave. Aw. Icy Finn wants to critique our fighting techniques, which is hilarious because I think we were complimenting theirs and they're saying that we're bad in return. So I don't know if that's playful banter or not, but we're talking with him. Ow, need hill pedal. Stop the pain. I know, everybody is sick and upset. I wish I could stop it. So here's Coal Slash, who saw some kitty pets playing with colorful moss balls. He grew to become cold, but a fish-like swimmer and fantastic healer. He was mentored by Ravensong, who influenced them to be more likely to refrain from socializing, break away from the status quo, and try to avoid violence. Ravensong helped them become better at healing, and graduated they were honored for their intelligence, graduating early at 10 moons old. There is still every chance that any of these traits could change as he gets older. Honestly, both of these are pretty good traits. Like, it's hard to take a step up from fantastic, so cold is the most likely thing to change as he ages, but we'll just have to see. Moonfern is reflecting on the joys and challenges of parenthood in the clan. She's respectful of StarClan traditions, and the cat's faith is purely a way to build their image. Oh. Chardrumble is trying to stay awake while on guard. While not fully convinced, this cat sometimes wonders if the dark force exists to tempt them away from the warrior code. Unfortunately, both of them aren't well, so they're not going to be taking care of any kits this moon. Which, in all fairness, not everybody is feeling up to task anyway. They will all be made apprentices next moon. Alright, here are all of our able-bodied cats, and like half of them are medicine cats. So let's go ahead and send out what patrols we can. Blueshade gathers horsetail. Hillpetal gathers some wild garlic, which is good because we did need more from the looks of it. Stormsky gathers raspberry across the border, but make sure to leave enough for the other clan. Alright, our requisite border patrol is going along River Clan's border, renewing scent marks. The two patrols get closer to each other, and the patrol leaders share a quick nod of acknowledgement. The patrols refocus on their task without stopping for conversation, but a feeling of mutual respect has been fostered. Relationships have improved. You know, I do wonder if they are ever going to come out with like a generated map of the territories, and then you could like try and gather more land for your clan by either waging war or, you know, what's the word, negotiating with other clans, like through diplomatic means. I think that would be a pretty robust system if they ever got to that point. But I think if they did, I would be like, okay, Clan Gen's done. It's reached its peak. I can make any story I want now. This is great. Our first hunting patrol only gathers a small amount of prey. And I'm gonna leave the last actually have the chance here. And our patrol loses rabbit haze in the white tinted haze of snow. The patrol backtracks and Rabbit Tail is found under a bush. They lost the path but sensibly stayed put. It's one more obstacle in the miserable day of hunting. They return with prey, but it's exhausting and barely worth the effort. I mean, I can't really say I'm surprised if that's the outcome, but those are all the patrols we have able bodies to do. So I guess we'll just dive into next moon here. And we are going to be going into moon 94 for the clan. Alright, so it looks like this moon we've got a lot of stuff going on with Blue Shade here. We offer to teach Blue Shade some battle moves just in case. The clan is having a lazy Sunheim. We end up chatting with Poppy Eye, Ravensong, and Stormsky about nothing in particular. During a gathering, us and a warrior from Clay Clan got into heated debate. Blue Shade notices we look tired. We reassure them that you're fine, but relent when they give you some herbs to help you sleep. We're helping Blue Shade since they needed extra pause. They're grateful for the assistance, and it turns out to be a great opportunity to connect with them more. So I guess we're just helping out because we're grief-stricken, but there's nothing, wrong that's going to debilitate us from doing a lot of physical activity. Not like if you were sick or with a broken bone. So we're in a slightly better position to help out and to, get our mind off of our grief in the meanwhile. So it's kind of a plus. With the additional focus of the clan, 9 herbs were gathered. Newly made apprentice Falling Paw touches noses with their mentor Pigeon Flick. Flip Paw smiles up at the stars as they sit beside Twig Roach. The stars seem to shine brighter in response, and Flip Paw knows it's a sign Timber is still watching over them. Burrow Paw excitedly touches noses with their new mentor Needledew, looking quite eager to start training. Spruce Paw hopes that Timber is watching from Star Clan with pride as they are apprenticed to Weaselreed. So sadly we're not getting another apprentice, but we're not physically capable of training them right now, so I guess it makes sense. Frost Whisper was seen being condescending towards Flippaw all day. Frost Whisper appreciates Poppy Eye telling them they had a feather stuck to their face. Moonfern grooms their pelt, happy to find tears and wounds in it gone. Lyre Rush's white cough is gone, as is Snowleaf and Yarrow Stars and Needledews and Fawn Shocks. Chirpback's infection is gone. Charred Rumble's white cough is gone. Fierceface is recovered from white cough. Icy Fin and Primshade's white coughs are gone. Shaded Antler's bruises are gone. Twig Roach and Falling Kit and Spruce Kit have all recovered from white cough, so luckily it sounds like the plague has passed and it doesn't sound like any bad effects came of it, so fingers crossed it remains that way. I was honestly expecting at least one case to progress to green cough, seeing as we're in the middle of winter, but maybe the efforts with all the herbs and medicine cats, came through there. During the gathering, Blue Shade does their best to get on River Clan's good side. River Clan relations improved. And with the additional focus of the clan, 9 herbs gathered. Alright, it looks like everybody is presently an ally. So I don't know that we necessarily need to touch anything. I don't think it's going to benefit us to continue buttering up other, clans, because then it's just gonna get weird eventually, so that is fine. We'll leave that be. I do think here, just from the looks of it last time, we have to choose to continue to hunt down, drive off, or invite in a cat every single moon. We only get one choice of a cat to do that with, so I'm just gonna kind of ignore this tab for the most part. I just don't think it necessarily makes sense for the clan to be putting in so much energy to hunting down cats that we've exiled. It's one of those cases of if we find them, then something will happen, but I don't think we go out of our way to purposefully try and do anything either. Alright, the clan looks a lot better just at first glance here. Before we get into anything too much, let's see all of our new apprentices. So at first we have Falling Paw, who wants to learn something new today. He grew to be witty and tidy, and he is apprenticed to Pigeon Flick. He's got some really interesting white markings here. Like this almost looks like an S or like some kind of inverse spiral. So I'm curious to see how that progresses. Then we have Flip Paw, who's relaxing in between training and patrols. He's playful and oddly resourceful. And he is apprenticed to Twigroach, which surprises me since Twigroach is such a newcomer, but maybe this is just Yarosar's way of trying to let Twigroach prove themselves too. Burrowpaw saw some kitty pets playing with colorful moss balls. She grew to be adventurous, an avid play fighter, and splashes in puddles. Honestly, this sounds pretty much exactly like the kind of apprentice I'd expect Needledew to take on. Sprucepaw is eavesdropping on Primshade. He is cold and watchful, and his mentor is Weaselreed. Honestly, I feel like we would have been a pretty good mentor to Sprucepaw just based off of traits that we share, but that's alright. I think Weaselreed will do a great job with him too. And this is where their faith meters lie. Sprucepaw doesn't fully believe in StarClan, but is somewhat comforted by the fantasy. Burrowpaw thinks that StarClan is just kid tales to make their clanmates believe. Flippaw finds the idea of Dark Force laughable and refuses to take it seriously. And Falling Paw believes in StarClan when it suits their image. So far, we don't have any cats that are really gung-ho one way or the other. So first we have Yarostar, who's running down to the lake to get some more swimming practice in, despite being, grieving. Needledew is wondering what it would be like to be the leader. Probably feels pretty at the forefront right now, seeing as, she is a mentor to Burrowpaw now, and she's probably taking on some more duties as long as Yarostar is unwell. Blueshade is daydreaming about being a warrior in Lion Clan. We aren't going to talk to him because we've had a lot of interactions with him over the moon. Blueshade needs their paws into your back while you doze off. It's a nice feeling and a comfort, and your body is able to momentarily distract you from the pain in your heart. Aw, that's nice. Petal nearly faints upon seeing Shaded Antler tracking Mud into the den. Stormsky is checking up on the warriors, and again we're talking to him. Stormsky hates Leaf Bear, and they're prepared to make it everyone in MoonClan's problem. They zip around camp, skidding on patches of snow, exploding with pent-up energy. Watch out, everybody! Ahaha, whoa! They slip on a patch of ice, slamming into the ground. Hopefully Petal won't have to patch them up later. Oh, I relate to that, though. There's only so long you can spend cooped up before you kind of need to get some kind of outlet. We are thinking about a strange two-leg object we saw recently. Ravensong saw a pair of two legs near camp today. We're talking to him. Oh hey, wanna come visit Mosscone's grave with me? I've been leaving their favorite prey by it every day, just so they know I haven't forgotten. I'm sure that's something that'd bring both of us comfort right now, since Frost Whisper is also grieving Mosscone specifically. Lyra Rush wants to help their clanmates. We'll talk to her first and then flirt. We spot Lyra Rush lounging around their nest, fast asleep. Aren't they always up at this time? Did they fall asleep by accident? As we approach, they slowly begin to stir in their nest. Huh? What? Frost Whisper, what? Yawn. What time is? Oh, StarClan and patrols, I'm going to be late. What's your secret? You always know what I need to hear before I do. Oh, that's just so sweet. How are their relationships coming along? Pretty good, honestly. We definitely still have a lot of feelings for the other cat, so if something ends up happening there, then again, I wouldn't necessarily say no, like poly relationships exist. I just can't influence that. And honestly, from the looks of it, it seems like Needledew and Frost Whisper might be making confessions at some point. Poppy Eye almost got lost near some two-lake nests. We talked to her this moon. Hey, do you remember that old nursery tale about the two sisters? You know, the one where one of them has control over the weather, and that sister accidentally casts all 4 clans into an eternal leaf bear? Or was that just a really weird dream I had? I'm assuming that's a Frozen reference, which, you know, in turn is based off some other myth or tale. Which, honestly, I really need to read some of the original versions of Disney tales. Poor Moonfern is not having a fun time. She's been grief-stricken and she was injured last moon, and she's just been having a rough time with her duties as a whole. So all of that checks out. I just feel really sad to see that. Rumble is trying not to doze off guarding the entrance of the camp. She probably feels pretty bored right now with absolutely no kids to watch over. As a note, if we do get up to 2 pages of cats, then we are turning on mass extinction events, which probably would have been a lot more devastating with that epidemic of white cough. But as wild as it is to say, we've just never naturally filled out more than 2 pages of cats for the clan, so there's never been an opportunity to turn it on. I kind of like to try, but I'd also be scared that as soon as I take the box, something would happen to Frost Whisper. But we have a million patrols we can now send out, and a lot of them are going to be training. Poor Blue Shade is unsuccessful when looking for bulbs and only comes back shivering. Oh, this is new art. In the leaf bare snow, the chances of finding any usable daisies seem slim. Storm Sky hesitates should they even try to look. And we kind of have to, I think. But Storm Sky ends up soaked to the skin and doesn't find any daisies under the snow. By the time they get back, they are also shivering violently. Are they unwell with that? No. Feels like a tempting fate to send out Hill Petal too, but we're gonna try. And Hill Petal actually succeeds, gathering burdock. So Needledew and Weaselry go out together to train their apprentices, but the 2 warriors actually just spend a lot of time trying to discuss the vision Weaselry had. Pigeon Flick and Twigroach take out their apprentices and go to try and teach them fighting techniques, but nobody sets up to teach. Another note, I think this is also some new art here, which it's really cool to see some new art finally. Alright, I don't know why I sent out such a big patrol for this border mission, but Amber Stripe sees 2 kids from Clay Clan playing close to the border. Amber Stripe wouldn't be able to forgive themselves if something happened to those kids. They order the patrol, save for Primshade, to return to camp, and Primshade and Amber Stripe return the kids back to Clay Clan, improving our relationship with them. Our first hunting mission catches 1 bird. Our next manages to gather a medium amount of prey. And our last mission is a border patrol, which finds a small dog on the territory. Poppy Eye hisses at the dog, and the rest of the small team backs him up. The dog skitters, yapping loudly, apparently shocked by the display. The patrol breaks down to yowls and caterwauls until the dog loses its nerve and runs from the border into the distance. Alright, and that's everything for this moon, so let's go ahead and dive into our last time skip of the episode. Alright, it looks like this time skip not too much happened, which I'll take. But we're helping Hill Petal since they need extra paws. They are grateful to us for the assistance, and it turns out to be a good opportunity to connect with them more. Pigeon Flick shakes you awake. They tell you to stop sleeping. You are having such a nice dream, though. Poppy Eye is going on and on about a really cool cloud. You're caught yawning at the tail, and Poppy Eye is cross for a few days. Oops. It's your dreary day today. Primshade and Chirpback just came back from a patrol and are sheltered beside you. The 3 of us share tongues for a bit, grooming out damp fur. I do like having some more interactions with cats specifically. It's a nice touch. Frost Whisper is talking with Rabbit-tail. We're happy to run into Fawn Shock today. Moonfern, Weaselreed, and Frost Whisper took a sun bath and had a little small talk. Yarsar is giving us a task. Flippaw came out of the plan to sneak out of camp with Frost Whisper. So looks like there's no negative effects there. Frost Whisper picks himself up out of their nest one day and begins the day anew, a fresh conviction in their heart. Moonfern tells himself they can't let their feelings consume them, instead learning to live with it. Yarsar wakes one day after moons of numbness and feels as though the world is less dull. Scorchrunner overdid their last sparring session and sprained a paw. Flippaw has gotten white cough, so just when I thought we were in the clear, we are not. With the additional focus of the clan, 9 herbs were gathered. Coleslash went for a long walk this morning, deep in thought. So we should be able to change our focus this moon, which I do think I'd like to try and do just so we're prepared for next episode and I don't accidentally forget. That being said, I think entreating with outsiders would make sense for summertime when, everything is in plenty and we can hopefully actually try and focus on recruiting other cats. So I think where that leaves us, we don't really need the extra food. So I think let's just do the resting and recovering. That way the rate of injuries, illnesses, and outbreaks will be reduced for spring. I think that's just going to be a good general passive thing to have if we're good on resources. Alright, so just as a note here, I'm counting all the cats we had the moon skip events with 2, and I assigned them pluses or negatives depending on exactly what the interaction was. That being said, we're talking to half the clan this go, so I'm gonna try and skip through this as quick as I can. Yarsar wants to get to know Rabbit-tail better. The border patrol came back with news of 2 legs on a territory, so Yarsar personally guards the camp entrance, casting paranoid glances. It's clear they take their job as a leader very seriously. Needledew comes up with a solution no one else thought of. Blueshade wants to get to know Lyrush better. Hellpetal is changing their bedding for the 3rd time today. We're talking to him. Look, I'd rather be eating a toad right now than speak to you, but we're still clanmates, and clanmates should at least try and tolerate one another, right? So, here. Hillpetal tosses a mouse at your paws and watches you expectantly. It seems like they're waiting for a response. I guess we'll thank them even though this feels like a trap. Hillpetal gives you a curt nod, and though they don't say it to you directly, you swear you can hear a soft welcome as they pat away. Okay, I guess we made the right choice. Stormsky is in the medicine den, unsurprising for a medicine cat with a little injury. Pigeonflick wonders how to break news to Flippaw. Not sure what news, but we're insulting her. Well, you should leave the shutting up to you, stupid. At least we're getting a little bit more creative with some of the insults. We're wondering how Icyfin is doing, so that's another cat to talk and patrol with. Weaselreed wants to compliment Shaded Antler's fighting techniques. Huh? What was Needledew saying to me just now? You're not getting word from me. Ask him yourself if you want to know. It's seriously not my place. I thought you knew better. Oh. I wonder if we're just that curious to see what they think of us, or if something else is going on there. Lyrush is calming herself by thinking how StarClan will see to things. Lyrush walks into our den, shaking snow from their pelt. Careful, Popguy is right outside, ambushing anyone who comes by with a shower of snow. Something about how everyone's so stressed in Leaf Bear needs to lighten up. You can probably dodge if you jump to the left as soon as you leave. Fawnshock is trying to set a good example for younger cats. What do you want? You thought I looked lonely, could use someone to talk to? In case you haven't noticed it by now, I actually prefer being alone. Not that you even know me at all. Now how about you leave and go find someone else to annoy that actually cares? Okay, we'll leave you alone. Chirpback is trying to set a good example for younger cats. Chirpback is trying to push himself through their paws, legs trembling like weak, spindly sticks underneath them. I can walk, don't need help. Their legs collapse, sending them slamming back into the nest as an exasperated blue shade rushes over to help them. Maybe just relax and wait for everything to heal up so you don't get worse. Poppy Eye wants to critique Coal Slash's fighting techniques. You're lucky that Pigeon Flick is here. Otherwise, I don't think you'd want to know what I would do to you. Icy Fin is thinking about a strange two-legged object they saw. Oh, watch out, Frost Whisper, don't come any closer. We leap back expecting thorns or sharp rocks, but instead, Icy Fin's gaze is fixed on a bee. Must have just sung something. I think it's dying. We ask Icy Fin why they don't just squish it. They recoil. It's a living thing, just like either of us. What crime has this bee committed? The crime of being small? No, it deserves a death with dignity, just like the rest of us. The bee suddenly falls very still. Oh, I think it just went. I'm sorry, little guy. I hope wherever you are, you find plenty of flowers and even more mercy. Icy Fin gently scoops up their bee in their paw and lays it on a bed of moss. They trot away, but we linger by the bee for another moment, in awe of their gentleness and insight. We vow to never squash another bug again. Rabbit-tail is finding Spruce Paw annoying. Good morning, how are you doing today? Did you hear rain on the den roof last night? It was really loud, it sounded like hundreds of tiny paws slamming on the roof up there. I wonder if StarClan comes to visit us in the form of rain. Interesting thought. Printrade wants to critique Icy Fin's fighting techniques. Printrade has got Fawn Shock pinned into a headlock, loading over them with a mischievous grin. Still the best in the family, hehehe. Just when you're about to intervene, Fawn Shock whirls around and kicks Printrade square in the chest. Printrade quickly rebounds and chases their sibling across camp, laughing like crazy in spite of their tussle. Or maybe because of it. Guess fighting is just how Printrade expresses their familial love. Honestly, Printrade strikes me as a cat that's a little bit bigger in terms of stature, and Fawn Shock the opposite, a little bit smaller. So I can see him being like a casual bully to the rest of his family, but you know, in a lighthearted way. Here's Coal Slash, more grown up. He's thinking the leader should be harsher on code breakers. So cold, fish-like swimmer, and fantastic keeler. I always like these little face markings because they look like sideburns to me, and I just think it's hilarious. But he's very pretty. That black on blue is just a classic combination for me. Flippaw is playing a prank on Rabbit-tail. We are talking to him. Flippaw is sleeping. Better let them rest so they can recover well. Moonfern is helping mediate squabbles. We are talking to her. Moonfern is sitting in the middle of camp, seemingly lost in thought. Okay, no other interaction there. And Charred Rumble is reflecting on the joys and challenges of parenthood in the clan. I think Moonfern has a lot to think about, just in general. She has undergone a lot of triumphs and drawbacks in her lifetime. So I think she's been on a general rougher track of things. I honestly think she kind of suffers a daisy fate because she had a lot of kids and then she watched them grow up and became like the permanent queen of the clan and continued to have more kids. And now a lot of her kids are gone. So now she's just gotta deal with that. So like if we go to her family tree, the only kid she still has in the clan is Chirpback, and Palefur is the only one still alive that is outside the clan. But out of all of her kids, 2 of them ended up being the murderers, Shimmerkick and Palefur there. So, you know, it's just really unfortunate for her because like something horrible has happened to pretty much all of her kids, and like half of her kids are like not regarded well by the rest of the clan. Even going down to grandkids, half of them are gone. The only ones she has are Fawn Chalk, Hill Petal, and Poppy High left. So she's seen so much life and death in the scope of the clan, really. So I just think that's probably what's been catching up to her and what's been bothering her, especially just with so much grief going around in general. It also occurs to me now that I think I had Whisker Streak and Shimmer Cake mixed up. So I do think we might go ahead and go to accept Whisker Streak if she ever makes her way back. But with that, we are diving into patrol. Blue Shade gathers Daisy. Hill Petal gets Horsetail. And Storm Sky gathers Cobweb, so it sounds like this was just a lighter Leaf Bear. Oh, it's so cute! Look at the porcupine! So we finally have some art to go with this prompt. But Weaselry takes Spruce Paw out to see a big porcupine on the glades of the forest. Spruce Paw watches a big, bushy lump of a creature with wide eyes, tail twitching with excitement. Weaselry points out the cascade of spines lying flat on its hairy back as the porcupine sniffles happily around the forest floor, sounding like a happy newborn kit in the nursery. Oh, this is also new art. Trailing behind the patrol, there's a mighty crash above Pigeon Flick. They look around wildly, just as the world is blotted out by a tangle of heavy falling branches. Honestly, having the artwork for this just makes it feel so much more visceral. Like, that would be terrifying to see. We're proceeding. Their clanmates come running at their yowls, and Pigeon Flick is soon freed, shaken but unharmed. The patrol settles down as everyone comforts each other. The art switched back over to the old art of the cat underneath the branches. I wonder if something bad happened to the cat, if this artwork would be a little bit different. I hope we never find out. Our requisite border patrol discusses rumors they've been hearing of a badger denning in our territory. Once they find the set, the cats discuss their next move. If a badger is moved in, they need to confirm it, but how? Yarstar comes up with a plan, stuffing bushes into the mouth of the set. The cats will be able to come back tomorrow and see if anything shoved it out of the way. Alright, I really wanted to send out Frost Whisper and Lyre Rush together, but Frost Whisper had to be thinking of Icy Fin, so I guess we're gonna have a couple of third wheels along for the ride with us. But I think we're gonna actually lead this up to Chance. As we head out into the forest to hunt, Frost Whisper seems to be absolutely unconcerned with their duties, instead ambling along as though the prey is going to waltz into their paws. I love this lineup of cats. They look like they're on such a mission here, and it's so hilarious to me. But we kind of have to proceed, because otherwise we just don't catch anything. But I have a sneaking suspicion Frost Whisper just wants to show off her Lyre Rush. Frost Whisper makes it look easy, and when the patrol is done mousing, everyone else ends up carrying catches mostly brought down by them. They lead the way back to camp, sauntering with a distinctly smug sway at their hips. Alright, I guess our showing off did in fact impress Lyre Rush. Alright, our last patrol for the border is a little bit bigger, but we meet RiverClan, our allies at the border. We have a nice conversation with them, remarking on recent weather before parting to continue patrolling. And our last hunting mission brings back a little lizard. Alright, and that's where we'll go ahead and leave it off for here. I'm excited to see what else comes with this new update. As much as I don't want another murderer in the clan, I'm curious to see what those new murder options are about. I'm really excited to actually get some more solid interactions with other clans and outsiders as well, and just generally being able to focus on what we want to do is going to be really cool too. So let me know your thoughts about this update and how we should incorporate its changes into the dynamic of MoonClan. But otherwise, thank you all so much for watching. Feel free to check out links in the description below for links to other social media, as well as alternative ways to support me if you do feel so inclined. Thank you to Parental Unit for supporting the channel, as that is greatly appreciated. But otherwise, everybody, again, I hope you all enjoy. So until next time, stay safe, stay happy, I'll see you all then, and bye!